From a technical standpoint, setting up a webcast is more complicated and somewhat more risky than creating a library of archived videos. But these risks are easily mitigated by taking the appropriate precautions. Now, because these are live, they involve all the usual risks associated with live events. Things may not always go as planned. Equipment could break down, cables may fail, speakers not turning up on time, people saying silly things that are captured on camera, and so on and on. Now, the other complication has more to do with the specific technology used in webcasting. Since you have to encode a media stream before sending it out over the net, the encoder has to work more or less in real time. The cameras and audio equipment feed the signal into the encoding device. Then the encoding device compresses and formats the data so it can be sent along to a media server at a different location, from where it is then streamed at a suitable bitrate and ultimately played by the end viewer through a media player on their internet browser. Now, at first glance, this process may seem to have too many variables to actually be reliable. In reality, though, if the production company, that's us, the guys running the cameras and creating the final mix, if we can keep the signal running, it is then a pretty reliable method of broadcasting, or as we call it, videocasting. The weakest link in the production chain is the connection between the encoder on site at the live location where we are and the server somewhere out there in cyberspace. But in most cases, a simple DSL or cable connection is perfectly satisfactory, especially since the encoded signal being transferred is usually no more than 400 to 800 kilobytes per second. Just as a side note here, your typical home internet connection is capable of receiving signals at a rate of 5 megabytes per second. But we play it safe and transmit at a much lower rate to make sure that even the weakest internet connections can view the smooth stream. Complications could arise when deciding what format and what bitrate to use for your live webcast. Archived streaming media is often encoded in different formats and at different bitrates, but this is often not possible with live videocasts, or at least it could become cost ineffective. But in many instances, the webcaster picks the format he considers most likely to be used by the largest number of viewers and just goes with it. These days, it's typically around 750 kilobytes per second. Live webcasts can even be subscription-based. Events like online training or distance learning services, or even online concerts and recitals. Online access to these events can be controlled using a custom yet simple website that can register viewers, collect online fees, and pass out passwords for access to viewing. The main danger in holding a webcast? If the actual internet service is down in any particular area or at the event venue itself. Fortunately, that is a very rare occurrence, and we don't worry about it. After all, why worry about something that's beyond anybody's control?